Hello everyone and welcome back to Abstract Medicine. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are tuning in the world. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you all. Thank you for your likes, shares and subscriptions as well. Please do press the notification bell to be updated on when my next video will be posted through. You may or may not know, if you're new to this channel, I'm an artist. I'm an abstract painter. I do installations, sort of painterly sculptures, and I've got my work all around the world, based in London. That's my main profession. But hey, I'll let you on in a secret here. I'm also a healer. So welcome to my channel. So I conduct shamanic healing services remotely. I also do art therapy classes as well. I've been doing this for about 2 years, let's say out from the spiritual closet. Been doing it publicly for about 2 years. And I also do some other things too, so have a look at my healing page on my website. All the information is on the description page. Or there's a description box rather down below. So I'm going to be doing a special reading today. It's going to be all about your spiritual gifts and your spiritual practice. Let's just see, how I can guide you on this. This is not going to be a pick a pile, it's a general. So we're just going to see how we, the spiritual community above, let's say, can really help and guide you on your spiritual practice and your spiritual journey as well. I just felt really cool to do this today. So just, take the messages that need to, that you want to take from this reading. Take the ones that vibe with you and just drop the ones that don't, basically. So let's start with the Vera Sibilla. Dear angels, ancestors, guides. Okay. Okay, so we've already got some cards here. Interesting, I spoke about, spiritual practice. We have consolation or consolazione. And then we have il ladro, the thief. A friend. Have some of you been worried about a friend of yours who's been stealing your ideas, maybe, or your dreams, or maybe has been trying to take your... Yeah, there's an enemy here. There's, I was going to say in italiano. C'è un nemico qua. Può darsi un'amica or un amico. So maybe it's a friend, a female friend or a male friend who's been trying to maybe take your dreams away from you. So this is kind of giving me the energy of someone who, let's say, for example, is a prince, and someone basically someone is a servant of this prince, okay? And this prince then, this is actually in a myth, actually, funny enough. I think it's a Nordic myth. And basically there's this prince and this, the servant of this young prince takes him to a field, takes him astray, takes him on a walk. Or they go on horseback somewhere in nature, and this servant essentially just sabotages the prince. I think, wrestles with him, punches him, and he's kind of almost left basically for dead. And this servant takes away his gold, takes away his money, takes away his garbs as well. So he takes his clothes off and he starts to wear the garbs of this prince. So he starts to wear royal, regalia, and gets on the prince's horse and then rides into his own future and leaves this prince for dead, essentially. But just bear with me here because I feel like I'm getting to a point here. What this lowly and nasty servant doesn't realise that his karma is awaiting him in his future because of the life he chooses, because of that life that he chooses to take away something that is not his and is not in his divine right. And what happens is that he is engaged to a princess. The servant turned prince is engaged to a princess, and this princess just has absolutely no desire for him, no love for him at all, just just can't even stand him really. He doesn't have an air of royalty. He doesn't have an air of self-esteem or like positive attributes at all. It's kind of like you can sprinkle the most prettiest sweets and candy all over dog do, but in the end it's always still going to be dog do, isn't it? So, and that's kind of what was happening with this servant. Is he looked like he was playing the part, but you can't hide the fact when you're not that amazing identity, let's say, from within. It's clearly felt and expressed without. So during this ceremony, during this march, there was a march taking place. Bear with me, there's a march taking place here now, okay? And there's this servant here turned prince, and then there's a princess here, and there's this march taking place where there's horses and things like that. And so the horses and the soldiers, not the horses, but the soldiers, they do not turn in acknowledgement towards the prince, over here. They actually completely rebuke this so-called prince, because they know who their real prince is, and their real prince is over here in the foray of, let's say, the audience, the common people, the public, right? And so the soldiers turn towards this prince who's in the public, and he's wearing like, crappy garb, basically. He's not looking princely, okay? He hasn't showered, he hasn't bathed, he hasn't washed his hair, he's not looking great. But there's an air about him of a princely air, exuding from his very being, yes? And the soldiers recognise him as the divine prince. And this is essentially this servant's karma, is that whatever you try to escape from your own past life, or from maybe even trying to take from other people, it will bite you in the back. And so, whatever retribution had to be taking place after that had to be taking place, and this princess had also recognised this soulmate as well, within this actual divine prince too, and they all lived happily ever after, apart from that servant bugger. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out, and I just feel like some of you have been taken advantage of, a bit like that prince, that divine prince, who, you may have had a friend here who tried to take something away from you, try to take your sunshine away even. Maybe this was also a friend of yours, maybe your highest dream is, and your manifestations and your invocations is about bringing someone closer to you, a female closer to you if you are a male, or if you are interested in females, essentially. Again, LGBTQ here. Like, I'm a pretty liberal-minded, open-minded person. So I just, please don't get offended if I'm not using the right terminology. Like, if you're going to be like that, then it's probably best you just leave this channel, because I'm very compassionate and I'm very open to all types of belief systems, to be perfectly frank with you. And if you don't know that about me on a personal level, and if you don't know, and you haven't been getting that already from my readings or from my other readings, then maybe you should just leave. And so that's what I'm getting here as well. It's like, you can be calm and assertive at the same time without losing your demeanour, like I just did there. You're not losing your demeanour, you're not losing your integrity, you're not losing or giving your power away. And I just feel like there's something here where you yourselves are also like this too. But someone could have been a female friend, or two, a female or a male, who have tried to take, from you, and you're just asking for help, and you're praying for help and guidance here. Let's have a look at the Psychic Tarot and just see what the Psychic Tarot has to say about this. Yeah, and this has been an obstacle and a challenge for those of you who are resonating with this part of the reading. It's been very challenging for you. I do feel like I'm picking up on a male here. We have, a person who is walking over this plank into this new future here. This is giving me the energy of the Five of Pentacles. Let me just have a look at it, because I like to have a look at the cards as well, because it's a bit tricky sometimes, like doing it in the reverse. But yeah, there's been some obstacles, some challenges, and I feel like, you know, it's now time to spread your wings here, and actually get help from your angels, from your winged guardians, you know. I'm also hearing Harry Potter, that magic spell, what is it? Wingardium or something, Leviosa? I don't know. Yes, anyway, but there's something about spreading your wings here and just letting go as well. I'm also hearing that Frozen song, which I haven't watched that film, but yeah, there's an energy of just letting go, and that's where you really truly find peace. Is sometimes you just have to let go of these people, and let go of these past pains of people that just try to take advantage of you, try to take your money, even try to steal your ideas, try to even emulate you. It's that horrible energy, which I've had before myself, where people try to take from the genuine article, but they can never be the genuine article because they're not. They are their own soul, they are their own person, they are their own spirit, but they just like to take from other people. So they'll start to dress like you, they'll start to do the same things that you do, they'll start to, you know, create in the same way, they start to speak in the same way. They say, for example, you speak another language, they'll start to learn that other language, and they'll start to like mock you with that other language, you know. So for example, you know, I'm Italian, Colombian, British, and so for example, you know, I speak Italian fluently, basically. I would say, well, my dad says like 98%. And you know, there's something about that where, you know, I'll speak in Italian, and then there'll be an individual who will hear me speaking in Italian, for example. Not anymore, because I don't hang out with these people anymore, but and this person would start to mock me with like in English, but with an Italian accent, and it's very it's actually quite offensive, to be honest. It's almost bordering on the line of xenophobic as well, and it's purely, you know, when people do these kind of things, it's purely because of nervous energy, because they're jealous, because they're envious, because they can't, you know, speak in another language, for example. Like, I'm not saying like this is just who I am, you know. This is who I am, you know, and you can't hide from who you are, you know. And I feel like you are the genuine article, for those of you who are resonating with this section of this general reading, and you've been asking for help and guidance, going like, maybe you've been asking for help and guidance from a friend, maybe I am your friend here, you know, who you've been asking for help and guidance and protection as well, because you've been finding this as an obstacle. Maybe you've been booking readings from me too, or you've been, you know, in my art therapy sessions too, you've been trying to let go of these challenges. And I just feel like you're also holding yourself back by associating with these people, because don't forget, you know, this is also part of your spiritual journey too. Your spiritual journey is also a physical endeavour, yes? So, you know, don't forget that the people that you surround yourselves with are a reflection of your own values as well, and what you will tolerate as well. And of course what you won't tolerate too, but they're a reflection of who you are. And they have been letting you down, and they've been holding you back from your true freedom, from your, you know, your purpose here. And I just feel like they're just holding you back here, they're holding back the reins. And then yes, we have trapped in fear, and you know, maybe you have, because you are a very loyal person, yes, because you are very kind and very sweet and compassionate, you are essentially not creating a strong, solid defense around you. And I know this can be scary, because, you know, it's like, Cristal, yeah, you say that, you know, it's easy, you just have to let go of these people, but I've known these people for all my life. I've known them, they could also be my family, friends, or family, you know, I've known these people for so long, and I totally understand, like, I get it. I don't mean that you have to just be a lone wolf all the time. What I'm saying is that you can still, let's say if this is a family friend or even family, you can still love and care for them, but there's a real need to have boundaries here, and to be awake and aware to them trying to take advantage of you, or even trying to take away your time, or just be aware if they're trying to distract you from your purpose or your endeavors or even your goals, or even just a simple thing that you want to do, simple thing that you need to do for that day, and they're just trying to distract you. Like, just be aware that these are people that need their own healing and they need to be on their own path, and you can't allow anyone to take away from your purpose and your focus, you know. And there are people that are just very lost and kind of like just like dithering and dallying as well, just kind of running around in circles, because they actually thrive in that anxious energy. And I see that yourselves, you are not that kind of person. You are the complete opposite, the antithesis of that, I'm hearing. You're very calm people, you're very balanced people, you're very grounded people. And when others do not have or feel unsettled, they're not able to calm their energies and meditate and pause and pray, or they find that being super busy is like actually them being on the right path, you know, being super busy, like I'm so busy, I've got to do this, like that nervous energy, that kind of like highly caffeinated energy, you know, is them believing that they are doing something, where actually you can do a lot more with within a space of a very short time if you are centered, you know. And again, that's that beautiful 4D, 5D, 6D, 7D, 8D plus, you know. When I say 4D, it's fourth dimensional plus energy, where you settle your energy, you focus in, you pray, and then you manifest. You know, you really focus in on what you want to create. And I'm just seeing here that, again, I'm reiterating, you're feeling trapped here by these people, these situations. And maybe some of you are finding it very challenging to focus. I just feel like there's a lot of energy and movement and confusion and noise around you, you know, through people. And I feel like there could be something here to do with maybe needing to raise a legal issue here, legal papers as well, and present them as well. And we have awareness, you know, we have the magician, you know, is what I was talking about, is, you know, that manifestation. It's, you have high magnetism, and people want to take that. They want to take your sunshine away. They want to take that brightness, that bright energy. They want to take that magnetism, that power that you have and you hold, you know, and you behold just innately. The magician is a very strong Sagittarius energy too. So for those of you who are very interested in you know, travel and philosophy and esoteric thought and, you know, humanity and environmental action, you know, claim this reading as yours, because you are here as a person with a very strong divine purpose. Spiritually speaking, you could be a divine life path number 1. So have a look at that in terms of numerology, or number 8 or number 5. And your mission on this planet is to help raise the vibration and to be a vessel and a beacon of possibility for many. Okay, I do feel like there are a lot of you here could also are destined to be in the public eye as well, and you're learning how to, you know, get rid of these shackles from people around you who are holding you back, and you're gonna have to learn that on your own, through prayer, through meditation, etc. Let's now just get a Gaia card as well. So we have the 7 of water here. So a lot of you could be Pisces, Cancer in particular as well. So maybe you've already learnt these things before. Maybe you've experienced this before. And I feel like you're very sensitive as well, is what I was really picking up on. You're highly sensitive. And again, I was picking up on that compassion, remember? So I feel like you're highly sensitive and compassionate individuals. And sometimes, you know, you may have, or you may still be learning about how to not be a doormat, essentially, and stand your ground and not let people walk over you. And, you know, there's a lovely flow about you. You know, there's a lovely whimsical energy about you. There's something very dreamy about your presence. For those of you resonating with this part of the reading, something very dreamy, something very intuitive, something very mysterious as well about you. And I feel like there are people around you who know that you are an amazing friend and they really honour you as a great friend, but there are also other people around you who, again, want to take that magic, want to take that magnetism away from you. Again, you can't take from the genuine article. The genuine article is the genuine article. You know, other than if it's not the genuine article, it's a complete copy. So again, if this is something to do with copyright and also people stealing your ideas and, you know, trying to emulate you, or even, you know, there are ways of doing this in terms of creative, in the creative world, where there are legal infrastructures that can help you to, you know, implement these laws to protect you and your creativity as well, and even your person too, because I feel like there have been people that have just been really nasty, like very low vibrational people. I don't even mean low, I mean I feel like there's some evil people that you may have been associated with, that have just been trying to take what's yours. You may have resonated with my last reading about the general love, where there could have been someone here that, you know, you may have suffered PTSD from, because they are just evil. You know, they're just nasty, they're evil, and there's something about your body here, there's something about your beauty here, there's something about your talents, your skills, your mysterious nature, your sensitive, intuitive nature as well, and your intuitive capabilities. And there's, you know, there are people here that want to take that. Let's just close out the reading for this section here. In terms of your spiritual practice, we'll keep going. There's definitely a need more to invoke protection, okay, and also to get legal protection as well. With the priest and wedding, you know, some of you may have dealt with low vibrational people, narcissistic relationships as well. I am seeing an empath and narcissist relationship here as well, and you may have gone through many of these types of relationships, or at least close to that sort of relationship of empath narcissist, and now you've ascended, and now you're becoming more in tune on account of your invocation of protection, and you're becoming more in tune and elevating your spiritual understanding or spiritual awareness. You're elevating your vibration. You're actually becoming higher vibrational. This could be, of course, on account of leaving these people behind, who are blocking you, and feeling trapped and making you feel trapped and fearful as well. Remember, fear is a very low frequency. You're ascending, you know, there's an energy of ascension here. And you're also ascending to a higher path as well. You're ascending to a higher path, and maybe in terms of your humanitarian work as well. You're raising your standards as well in work too. You're also raising the issue, if this is also work related, to an employer, like a boss as well. And this is going to be this is going to be controlled. Remember, Spirit sees everything. You know, the Supreme Being sees everything and all. Maybe a little invocation that you can do as a small pause is to utter Om Paramat Mane Nama. Om Paramat Mane Nama, which is an invocation of blessed to the Supreme Being. Yes? So that's maybe that little pause in prayer to say, look, blessed to the Supreme Being, I am in alignment with the Supreme Being, I'm only working with high vibrations only, and just by saying that, you know, Om Paramat Mane Nama is saying that you're protected. You know, that's just clear, cancel, delete kind of energy here. Also, a lot of you who've been in these relationships, on account of your spiritual practice and your spiritual awareness, you've become more and more aware of your spiritual journey, also your spiritual capabilities too, psychic gifts too, you know. You are now ascending to a relationship that is more of your kind. So it's like birds of a feather flock together. You know, there's also friendships too that will be attracted towards you, you know, on account of your amazing frequency that has been risen, that is rising as well and continues to rise. I do see, in terms of romance, I do see a beautiful, loving, high vibrational connection here that is taking place, and you're creating this with spirit. You know, you're manifesting as above, so below. as within, so without. You know, remember the prince. You know, the prince analogy is like that person was always that person as within, and so without is reflected. Even though they're wearing crappy clothes, you can't hide from the genuine article. Again, there's that message here that's coming through. And, you know, there's going to be someone here that will feel that, you know, maybe through dreams. You know, your spiritual endeavors are connecting you more and more to the astral realms, and it's being presented in the physical realms. So you're dreaming about someone that you haven't met yet, or you maybe know about someone already, you know, and you're becoming more and more psychically in tune with this other individual, and you know that you're meant to be with each other as well. So there is that too, where there's a marriage made in heaven here, literally, and is coming through down into this earth plane here. With the priest, there's a need for continued faith. So your spiritual endeavors are definitely telling you to hold the faith, hold space, and close away from people who no longer serve you as well. In terms of work as well, I feel like there's going to be beautiful partnerships too in terms of work. I just want to say for those of you on the next sort of section of this reading, we could have someone here who is studying the Akashic records as well. So for me, this is Akasha, the library of knowledge. You know, there's Metatron, Archangel Metatron, that oversees this. You know, you can do this through astral traveling. I would say just, I mean, it's always tentative. I'm always very aware. Just be aware when you do these things, because there's also a possibility of being trapped in the etheric realm as well, and not being able to come back to your physical body. So I do see here that there is someone who's maybe attempting or trying to do some astral projection and trying to get into this this library of, you know, about your fate, you know, the library of the books about your karma, what you've been creating in this planet, and etc., or so far, and what you would like to clear as well in terms of your karma. We have financial and material changes, number 5. A lot of you are going through financial material changes on account of your ascension journey. I do feel like a lot of you have been awakened recently. So a lot of you have had a spiritual awakening for the first time, and it's very challenging, and lots of obstacles, of course, have been met. But remember that when we when we have a spiritual awakening for the first time, it can be quite scary as well. Because we're seeing that the paradigm that we used to believe was true, just like in the film The Matrix, have a look at it, you know, watch it for guidance too, because there's a lot of esoteric and spiritual information in there that will help you, I would say, the movie. You know, the people around you just leave, you know, situations that you thought was normal and true and real, you know, are not true. They're broken down. It's kind of like an energy of the Tower card, where your belief systems have changed, the people around you have changed, your environment has changed. And it's not necessarily that it's changed, it's converting into something that is better equipped and adapted for you. I'm also hearing a spiritual adapt. You're becoming more spiritually, let's say, skilled as well. And I do also see that there is a lot of hope here, but also there is an ascension and a financial and material change in terms of your commitment to your spiritual endeavours, and also your commitment in terms of romance as well. You know, there is a ring here as well. A lot of you are now no longer partaking in activities that you used to find, you know, interesting, and now you're letting go of childhood whims, childlike whims. I'm also hearing Corinthians as well, just coming through very lightly through my psychic awareness too, where, you know, once when I was a child I spake like a child, but now I've let go of childish things, you know, and it's that energy of, you know, the ascended master, you know, the king of kings coming through here, where there is an ascension, and I'm also hearing deliverance as well. Laissez faire, I'm hearing also, like, let them do what they need to do, but I am now doing what I'm needing to do. So laissez-faire, and let me do what I'm going to do now. Because there's a lot of you also have healing hands. You're able to put hands on people and heal people with your energy, with your hands in particular. So a lot of you, in particular with these hands here, are absolutely ascending, and you're changing your vibration. We have number 5 and number 17. 17 does talk about the star card. So this is bringing you a lot of hope. You know, you're helping people, you're helping to heal people, and you're helping to give hope to a lot of people as well through your own spiritual journey and through the evidence of that as well. Remember that the evidence comes after your belief in this thing. So it's not, I believe this thing is true because I can see it and touch it, taste it, you know, hear it. I believe that this thing is true because I know that it's true. And that's the energy of an ascended master, is I know, I believe, I know. And with that I know, I believe, then there is the I will, you know, I will, thy will be done, you know, your will create, you know, but it's I believe first. There's also a person here, as you can probably see in the middle. So some of you may have experienced, I'm just going to say ETs, you know, you may have experienced those energies. You may yourself be a star seed here, especially with number 17 and the star card. You could be a star seed from a specific, you know, star family, which could include Lyra. This could also include Orion. This could include many different. You remember in physics, you know, many possibilities and multiple dimensions and multiple realities. Yes, and mathematics there's probability. So remember that we cannot limit ourselves to just a specific planet or a dimension or even a universe. There are multi-universes here. And as you heal and ascend, you're also helping and healing so many others in other multiverses here. You may or may not be able to see this, but there's also people around here as well, around this person. So what you're creating, this is definitely giving me the energy of Neo from the Matrix. You know, it's like you're battling out demons as well away from you. There are also low ETs, low vibrational ETs too, so just pay attention to that and be careful. And some of you are already married to someone in the spiritual dimension that has not come to pass just yet in the physical dimension just yet. So just hold the fort, and I feel like this will be happening for you. But yeah, there's an energy of like, there's something here where there are two people who, it's kind of the energy of Trinity and Neo that are very connected on a soul connection. And you're both destined to be with each other, and you've both been hoping for each other. And there's that match made in heaven as well with the wedding card, Notze. You know, there's a priest here and there's a priest here. So, you know, you do the maths. You know, so there's that hoping, there's that prayer, there's that need for consolation, you know, and honour and money and finances as well. There's a lot of financial prayers that are being delivered here. There is something here on your higher path because you are destined for, you know, amazing people. We have number 10 here. So you're on a new journey here. You're on a new spiritual journey here. And there are lots of people that are going to be attracted to you, you know, in terms of your divine tribe as well, your soul tribe, yeah. And it's because they speak the same language that you do on a soul level. There's a lot of green here and purple as well. It's giving me the energy of psychic awareness, transformational energy as well. It's the energy of the snake that is shedding their skin. So again, there's that energy of a lot of you are, because of the spiritual awakening, are shedding and shedding and shedding, and therefore you're also shedding and purging people and realities and truths that have been around you for so long. And now your physical environment and what you are seeing, what your reality is changed, you know. And actually it can be a bit of a shake-up, but it's for the best here. So there are wishes that are being fulfilled here on account of your heart's calling, as well as your psychic awareness as well, materially and financially, and, you know, through love too. Material and spiritual prosperity, you can't make it up. So we have someone here who's created an amazing foundation for themselves and are now looking for a new opportunity that is more balanced here. Maybe they're looking for a ride or die here with the two springs, coming through here, and they're looking at a new opportunity for a soulmate here, and they're calling that soulmate in, as I mentioned before. So this is beautiful energy. There's definitely here an energy about maybe you've been researching about starseeds, soulmates. You've been researching about how to manifest, how to pray, how to invoke. I'm also seeing some alchemy energy here as well. Let's get some cards from the Gaia Tarot. And I'm also seeing healers here, physical, Reiki masters or energy workers as well. A lot of you definitely have healing hands, almost 100%. Some of you could also be creators as well, and you use your hands to heal as well. Queen of Earth, 11, 12, 13. So we have a Queen of Pentacles energy here. So we have someone who is, look, we have bison medicine as well. Gosh, wow. Bison spirit is like this I can't even speak because I'm so emotionally overwhelmed by this message. The bison medicine is incredibly sacred to the Lakota tribe, Lakota Sioux Navajo tribe, Diné, right? So, which is a branch of Navajo. So I believe that this message has come to find you here, for your spiritual journey here, to help you to see that you are also connected to these people. You are very connected to the First Nations. So take whatever nation that resonates with you. Maybe have a look at your ancestry as well. But also you have a spiritual connection with these souls, because you are soul tribe. We are family here, right? And I just feel like you're part of these amazing soul tribe, these First Nations, and bison medicine is something that is almost certainly part of your path here. Yeah. Amazing. The Queen of Earth is also like Mother Nature, so you have a connection to Mother Nature. You have a lot of care and attention for the earth. You make sure that you tend the earth as well. You're humanitarians, environmentalists. You think sustainably. You do your best efforts to do that. You make sure that. I'm also hearing agriculture as well. Some of you are planning to live off the fat of the land as well. And you're looking for an opportunity to create that, on a physical level, where you're materializing that because it's part of your spiritual endeavor and also your spiritual prosperity as well. Maybe you're coming together with someone else as well in terms of almost certainly a soulmate on a romantic level, to create that for yourselves. I do see divine feminine energy here, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, but at this point it doesn't really matter in terms of zodiacs. Let's get one more card here. Thank you. There it is. Then we have the Three of Earth here. Yeah. So there's tending, there's love and attention here. There's Pan energy here. So it's very magical energy here. Lots of magic coming through here. Lots of connection to the Fae. There's also pansies as well that could resonate with you. Have a look at the meaning of flowers as well. Some of you are really interested in botany. Some of you are also interested in the meaning and symbols of flowers. I don't know what it's called, like flower. I don't know, something about the Victorians that knew about this, about the symbols of flowers, or botany, I don't know. But yeah, you have an interest in that. And there's also like blood soaking through your blood, maybe even your menses as well, into the earth to feel more grounded to your environment, to your space. There's also an invocation as well to stay put in one particular environment as well. But yeah, there's a connection to the magical realms here. Absolutely. You're also wanting to invest as well with the squirrel on land. So maybe, again, you're wanting to live off the fat of the land, and you're thinking about how I can financially plan to live in nature, or, buy a property, or even build a property on land here. Let's get one more card about this. Remember, this is all part of your spiritual journey here, because this reading is all about that. It's about your spiritual journey. And you've been waiting, you've been waiting patiently. You've also been squirreling away, your money as well, in order to create this, You've been waiting also, for some of you, waiting for someone to return back to you, because you really feel like you are already committed to this person as well. And there's been some destruction and, disgrazia on your journey as well. Lots of changes and misfortunes have had to take place, unfortunately, because the foundation was not built on solid ground. But what you're moving towards on your spiritual journey and what's reflected physically is, of course, further hope, of course, protection as well, but more stability as well. And we have a lover here, Amante. You love the beautiful things in life as well, and you also have someone who is willing and wanting to invest in this connection as well, and there has been an ending, a death and transformation in this connection. There's also something about maybe you've experienced a lot of death in your world, but also in your own spiritual awareness. Your spiritual awakening has involved you, killing your ego. Have a look at the death of the ego, really have a look at it. There are books that are about this in terms of philosophy, not just, spirituality, like New Age books. Have a look at, what does... I'm also hearing Albert Camus, so have a look at Albert Camus as well, like The Outsider, the book, and start to read about these books as well. Like, I'm also hearing Umberto Eco, In the Name of the Rose. Like, these are very Rosicrucian books too. There's very kind of like... There's lots of symbolism within these books. And I'm also hearing there's something about the death of the ego as well. The death of the author. That's it. The death of the author. Who was that by? It was by a French... Was it Roland Barthes? I think it may have been. But it's the energy of, like, maybe sometimes you have to kill your own identity in order to resuscitate and start to ground yourself again, There's something here, actually, that's calling me. It's, I left Instagram for the final time, thank goodness. I just felt like I was being chained and trapped by an identity that I constructed and then was constructed for me based on the algorithms. So it's the energy of the AI taking over. Again, have a look at the Matrix. But it's just that it was very frustrating because as an artist, I'm so much more than just being a painter, and it was also distracting me, with Disgrazia, that does talk about distractions too. It wasn't helping and healing my soul. It was taking from me. It was taking. The energy vampire can also be an AI as well. So it's that energy of, like, I felt very called to that need to kill that author, kill the ego, and also trust that I was not being succumbed to my ego, and I was living my life more and more on a soul journey, on a soul path where it was more whole, more peaceful, more imaginative, more imaginative and more in line with having space and time to create and think differently as well. When you have lots of distractions, these can be friends as well as AI. It can be incredibly destructive to your own personal development, and your own spiritual journey as well, whatever that can be. And even it can become distracting in terms of what your belief systems are in terms of a relationship that's romantic, like with a lot of TV and just media, we have a perception of what romance is, and it's not actually 100% correct, Also, like, are you just allowing yourself to be guided by what is being dictated to you, or are you, wanting to be also surprised as well by the sickening effects of AI, for example, you're going to be, like, I think a lot of you have been disturbed as well by, social media and what's being sent out there as well. Again, this is part of your spiritual journey and your awakening, your awareness. You're becoming more awake and aware of what's being churned out, what's being chugged out into the social platforms, social media, which includes news, fake news, true news, real news, whatever. You're asking the right questions, and you're wanting to invest in something that is truthful and, that's going to stand the test of time, you know, and that can include realities that are based on truth. You know, realities that are based on truth can include a home. This is something that's true to you. Finding stability within yourself first in order to create the home that you want to create off grid, for example, you know, in nature, you know, rather than going to the supermarket every day, for example, you can live off the fat of the land from your own home. Yeah. So these are kind of like things that make you feel better and healthy rather than make you feel sick. Again, this is all connected here, you know, social platforms, social media, and also the real world out there in nature, and this beautiful green energy here, and the sunlight and starlight as well. There's lots of hope and prosperity and destiny and beauty and flourishing, nurturing, uplifting, good smells energy as well. You know, and you smell the grass or a field after it's rained. It's just, there's something, you can't put your finger on it. It's just so uplifting. And it's because of those positive ions that are being, you know, expelled as well. It's like beautiful oxygen that's coming through from the trees, you know. There's also something about biodiversity as well that's coming through, as well as forests that are able to create their own rainwater as well. And there's that energy of self-sustainability as well. A lot of you have been physically sustainable for a long time, and now it's time to partner up with someone who is also matching you on the same level here. I do also see a commitment here that is going to be healing as well, and you're going to be moving in with each other as well. This is going to be a pleasant surprise as well. So I feel like that's kind of it for the moment. In terms of your spiritual journey, again, all of these things are connected. Like everything that you touch and see and hear is all connected and part of your spiritual journey. Spiritual journey isn't just about you being inside and meditating and doing all the time. It's about you living, I call it living life off the yoga mat, living life off the mat. A true yogi, a yogini, is someone who lives that yogic practice, that Ayurvedic knowledge, that way of life in the world out there. You know, I mean, it's fine, it's easy when you're in nature to be like om shanti 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 shanti, you know, it's easy to do that, but how are you able to create that zen and be that light unto others when there's total destruction and devastation, and everyone's freaking out, and everyone's like, you know, like hesitating, and there's that nervous energy again that I was picking up earlier. Like, how are you staying zen as well? So, beautiful souls, that is all I have for you on this spiritual general collective reading. I really hope you've enjoyed this reading. I'm seeing 1001 on the timer here, which is beautiful energy. Remember, in the Matrix we had 101, do you remember that? With Neo's door was 101. So this is room 101. You've opened a portal into some basic spiritual formula here as well. So thank you so much, beautiful souls. Love and light to you. Have a look at my general collective love readings, and also other readings that I have on my Abstract Medicine playlist. Take care, beautiful souls. Love and light. Bye for now.